Thanks for watching the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're here to wrap up the business of the Montgomery County Council for this second week in December. Today we begin with the inauguration of the County Executive and County Council, which marks the beginning of a new era of leadership for Montgomery County, one that will be judged by their ability to keep Montgomery County one of the best places to live despite difficult fiscal times. Officials and residents gathered for the ceremonies that were held this year at Rockville High.
I, Isaiah Leggett.
I, Isaiah Leggett.
County Executive Ike Leggett was sworn in for his second term,
that I will support the Constitution,
and 9 council members took the oath of office as well. It's no secret this county faces substantial budget gaps again this year. However, leaders say they will continue to focus on providing the best possible services to county residents.
State of Maryland, and support the Constitution.
So why do we do this? Why do we run for public office? I believe it is because, as Woodrow Wilson said, there is no higher religion than public service. To work for the common good is the greatest creed. By taking the oath today, we commit to serving the residents of Montgomery County to the best of our abilities.
If our county has been spared the worst of these challenges, you know we have not been spared altogether. Despite the unthinkable challenges, I remain resolved to move our county beyond the economic difficulties we face today by continuing to build the foundation for a better future for all of us.
I see your true colors, and that's why I love you.
In keeping with the theme of fiscal responsibility, the inauguration ceremony was carried out with little fanfare. This year's event cost $5,000 compared with $100,000 4 years ago.
Circulate around.
New to the council are Hans Reamer and Craig Rice. Both say the county's budget will dominate the council's work.
The council has been successful in getting through several difficult budgets where the situation kept getting worse. I think now that there's a widespread recognition that we will need to solve a problem for the long term, and so that hopefully we won't be in this situation every year having to do mid-year savings and unanticipated cuts.
The reality is we have to make some really tough decisions on where we're going to go as a county, and it needs to be future-minded and not just looking at next year's budget, but making sure that we've set a plan for the next 5 to 10 years.
In other news, the president's gavel is now in the possession of Councilmember Valerie Irvin. She takes office just days after the county executive sent over his mid-year savings plan, which calls for a 15% cut across the board. Along those same lines, the Office of Legislative Oversight presented the council with options to consider adopting to address the structural budget challenge we face.
The difference between the public sector and the private sector is we don't have deep pockets. The pockets are the people who work every day to pay their taxes so that we can run this government. And the government is about people. And so we have to make some decisions on is the workforce too large? Is what we pay in salaries and benefits too much? How we're going to get to the end goal is what this council and this year are going to be tasked with finding solutions for.
The amount of time you will be able to leave your dog tied up outside may soon be restricted here in Montgomery County. Currently, it's legal to leave your dog tied up outside all day. But now the Public Safety Committee is recommending limiting tethering to just 2 hours per day.
So we're narrowing the window from 8 a.m., suggesting it, because he has to propose it, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then limiting it to 2 hours within that period. That's the basic recommendation, and also having swivels on the ends of the tether. There are protections already for shade, for water, important protections that would continue, and the requirement that the tethering be done in a way that the dog can't get entangled and get hurt as a result of that.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of the Council in Brief. Tune in again next week for a complete wrap of all the Council's news. I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for joining us.